Good morning, Vietnam. Just kidding. Meow. All right. We are here. We're just gonna start. There ain't no point of wasting time. What? Why am I a Christmas hat? What? What is going on? No, this isn't how it's supposed to go down. Why does it do this to me? Okay, that was weird. Anyway, we are here playing of the devil. Of the devil. Country boy. All right. We're pretty much almost done. I mean, we're not like almost. Hello, remember me? Yes, Sonic. You were from Monday stream. Hey, you got 2 emeralds now. What up? We're continuing of the devil, a game where we are a lawyer. We're almost done with the latest chapter. And based on what I can guess, we will most likely be done within today and tomorrow. It really just depends. And honestly, I wish I could give an explanation of how the story's been going, but I feel like it would take a very long time. For those who want
to go to Mexico?
I just love
Latinas.
Sonic.
What?
Adios, amigo.
But a lot's happening. Our main character right now is defending this guy who was accused of killing a few people and a cop, which it turns out is not really the truth, considering we're the ones who killed the few people, but we didn't kill the cop. So yeah, if I don't have this, also, what up, Jay Garcia? Hello everybody. How you doing? Exactly. Exactly my point. They must have waved me down over 5 times. Oh yeah, this is the guy, Sasuke. He's part of this, family. Uh-oh. Spam's getting crazy, we gotta turn it down. He's part of this family that, is very rich. Kind of like the Yakuza, and there's a lot to this. There's so much to this, story, honestly. Honestly, it's better just to look up a summary. Oh, the Hei's are going crazy. Were they private banks and recently had a wait. Sorry, one sec. I'm every... Because I made slime. Uh oh. Was that Puppet? Purgatory. And the comparison seems flawed. I wonder, because this person, Sasuke, is basically the honored one. Without going too much into that detail.
Meow.
Meow. Oh, you're gonna waste all your channel points on the hair. Is it worth it? What up? Oh, 7 and 7. Mines, but the console rolled them. Oh, I heard that jump scare. District Attorney, you mean Miss Rockford? Rockford's boss. How many channel points do you have? Word of the attack yesterday is already trickling out. Uh-oh, they can't afford to delay, or it'll look like they've been successfully intimidated. There is such a thing as overcompensating. Not on the stage of security theater. Look over the DNA analysis that Cian has completed, Adonai. 37? You have 37 left? The report on the building's bindings, yes. Gave me a lot to think about on the ride over. You're looking much better, Sasuke. In fact, you look completely amazing. I don't feel better. They gave me some sort of injection last night. Well, you look great. I woke up much more pain, but they're taking my bandages off. Some sort of injection. Said it. Injection recovery. No, I get it. Though it would help me sleep. The interrogation room floor was an excellent idea. Whereas, wait, they had him sleep there? Bruh. Spoiled brat. He was fine, we're going to jail, but now he got there. Now all of a sudden he's complaining. What about you, Adonai? Were you able to get any rest? Slept like a rock. Sure, eventually. She stumbled out the front door early morning. If she was drunk, Reyes. But it was an accelerator. I thought there was something familiar about this discomfort. They gave it to us back in the military on occasion. You heal up faster, but it takes some toll overall. Oh, damn. Why'd they wait until now to give you Sasuke medication? Was getting a bit silly, trying to accuse you of murdering 5 people when you looked like you had been thrown into a windshield. Thrown through a windshield. Bum, Kenjaku. What up? You're so handsome even without the rugged edge that your injuries provided. Damn. Hearing that doesn't make me happy, you know. Then why are you blushing? Uh-oh, it's not like you're spotless. You have a mark on your left eye. Had that since birth. Oh, I was told it's charming. It's not charming! Stop complimenting me! Oh god, now you got it in my head. Oh, what happened to the game? Excuse me. Thank you for clarifying that for the court detective. That was the same story he had told me yesterday down at the lower wards. Second on the scene, so they focus on clearing the lower floors before the meeting. Alright. So it looks like this is the trial, I guess. Continuation? Something? Good to have it on record so I can look it over. As for the next item on the docket, calling the defendant to testify. Seems like it's going to be a nothing burger, bro. Not entirely on it, my client waives his right to decline. Uh-oh. Does he now? Sasuke Akira. Oh yeah, Dosh cookies or Doish. I'm a head of personnel security at Akiria Financial Group. Any IFG, that's a family-run small business, mom-and-pop operation, I take it? Family-run. Well, mister, I feel like the court already has a strong understanding of the circumstances you found yourself in. How you were captured and tortured by these 4 known criminal associates, all of whom are now dead. How were you found standing over the body of Officer Chopin? That pretty much sums up everything what's going on. Yeah. I suppose all anyone ask is, what did you have to say for yourself? Only tell you that what I remember, even if mostly pain. How about after the pain? How did it end? I woke up and feeling my blood drying on my skin. Maybe a sensation for a head of personal security, I assume. Objection! I can answer. It was a novel experience. Put on my blindfold, it felt like I stepped into the desert. White flaring in my eyes, heart thumping, boom, 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 in my temple. But I realized there's a gun in my waistband. The indicator showed it was spent, and didn't know what to make of it. Does this gun look familiar to you, mister? I'm not even going to say the name. Mr. Akiria. Akira? I don't know. That's the gun! Let the record show the witness admitted to wielding the same mag US used to kill these two victims. Is this okay? I don't know. I stumbled toward a door, forward towards a door. Past it, the whole room seemed red. I thought you don't remember? Anything else you'd like to say to the court before we finish? There's one more thing I recall. I remember holding my sword. Sorry, excuse me. Jesus. Uh-oh. So he admits it! That's how the crowd sounds. Dude, he admits it! No? You remember holding your sword? Uh-oh. Woof, that ain't good. That's very interesting of you to say, mister. It's on the ground, it's important to me, so I bent over. Whoa. Picked it up. Do you recall the next thing you did with that sword? No, the next thing I know, I'm being transported and read my rights. I see. Your Honor, do you feel we need to continue the questioning? The trial. Ouch. Ready to begin cross-examination at any time, Your Honor. If you insist. Round 1. Fight, 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 fight. Woke up in a room blindfolded and in pain. Hold up! Wanna bet? Oh shit! I was joking. That's your problem. You're too soft-hearted. Oh no. Yo, what's up? Hey, what up? We're just playing up the devil. Now we're about to figure out what is the contradiction in this statement. I woke up in a room blindfolded and in pain. Managed to untie my binding and stumbled forward. That's when I noticed a gun sticking out of my waistband. I was alarmed, but the ammo was already spent. Uh-oh. I think it did bend down and pick her off the floor. I know I was in an ambulance having my rights read to me. Hey, I managed to... Wait! Is that it? Got him, bitch! Sasuke couldn't have untied his way out of those bindings. Not when they were clearly cut by something sharp. Objection! Objecting to this statement from your own client now? What do you mean, Morgan? Pictures of cloths were recovered from the room where you were held. Sosuke and they were clearly been cut. Sosuke and they were clearly cut. Jesus, I cannot read today. You didn't struggle your way out. You cut your way out. Now that you mention it, that's right. But if I cut myself out first... Your Honor, the people were asked that the defense to do their testimony coaching before the trial begins from now on. As it's saying, this has been a colossal waste of time. Yeah, I mean, the detail probably is important, right? It's very important, Your Honor. If he used the blade to cut himself free from his bindings, that means Sosuke couldn't have gotten free until someone handed him a blade. Meaning that the people's theory of a daring escape mid-interrogation is bullshit. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Is doing just fine, thank you for asking. None of us in the court here today seriously believe this man or his memory can be taken as truth. Damn. Forget and just take a look at the bindings. They're hard physical evidence, and they have been cut. Wait, they had to have been cut by something sharp. What do we know that fits that description? Oh, you think it was the sword? Captain kept him bound in that room for most of the night, then cut him from his bindings with a sword to bring him into the main room for questioning, where he turned the tables on them before slaughtering them all. Badass.
Personic 2-player asked me. I wonder if a part of Ryoma Hoshi's talent as Ulit-mate prisoner if he ever dropped the soap. Pooh-hoo-hoo, that's quite the question. Ryoma Hoshi, the ultimate prisoner, certainly had a unique set of skills. But whether he ever dropped the soap during his prison days is anyone's guess. It'd sure make things interesting in the prison showers, wouldn't it? Ah ha 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 ha. But remember, he's more than just his time in prison. He's a tennis pro, too.
Yeah, he's also a tennis pro.
Ace?
A real ace. A real ace, right? Oh, is that a... That's one of my favorite Pokemon. But anything's possible. The evidence points to a different answer. Your Honor, if we could please draw the court-censored forensic analysis of the building, you'll notice your client's blood, obviously. Also, what up, Data? Sorry, I didn't say what's up. Yes, obviously, but upon close inspection, you'll see also blood from Miller was found as well. This Poncho guy, who was stabbed in the throat, as the court may recall. But your client's sword, as in no doubt, still fresh in the jury's memory. Well, how can that be, Your Honor? What do you mean? It's not sharp enough. What a piece of How can Miller's blood have ended up on the bindings that kept my client from leaving the room in which he was held? Miller was killed before my client was ever cut free. Uh-oh. That's kind of a big deal, isn't it? I thought so, at least. Uh-oh. She's lawyer, that's not possible! What'd you send me? I'm scared. Oh, just a Pokemon. A Pokemon. You thought wrong, counselor. It's true that the katana has blood from Miller's stabbing on it. I'll admit that it's surprising to see his blood on your client's building. Miller's autopsy shows that he had no wounds besides the fatal puncture to his neck. His bindings didn't need to be cut before your client could kill him. What? Your client's wrists were left bound for questioning. He could have stolen the gun, killed Tanks and Creek, then picked up the sword, as he just stated in his testimony, and set to work. You think my client was drugged and beaten before killing 4 men? Was wrist bound? Yeah. Probably impossible for a man with his talents. And there's no other explanation for why he would have cut his bindings with a sword that, as you insist, must have already been used to kill Miller. No other explanation. Ugh. Even if you use something else to break out of a confinement, like the knife, maybe the needles. Not gonna be a bat. So. Fuck it. No balls. What if my client has simply used this to break out? To break out. Jesus Christ. It is a pretty cute. Let me look at it again. It is pretty cute. This is not. Is it Ponyta? From the is it Alola or Galar region? I like the parentheses. My knife. What the hell is that? Way overcooked from what I could tell. Galarian Ponyta. Yeah, I knew it. It's a murder weapon, Your Honor. One recovered from the scene of the crime. Oh my god! Wow! That knife, yes, that's what I grasped when I first woke up. That's impossible. What she said. Nothing else about a knife found seared to perfection in ARC's data. Is it overcooked or seared to perfection? This knife was not found inside the building, Your Honor. I retrieved it from the alley immediately beside it. An android did. An android did? It needs her to submit video evidence of the entire afternoon to verify. Doubting Thomas. Chinese swap. Okay, yeah, show me when it's complete. What forensic have performed on it? Forensic committee performed. No fingerprints remaining, and the DNA present in the blood is too damaged to be used. But I have identified at least 2 different blood typings. A, B, and B, Your Honor. Your Honor, the people are, of course, interested in forensic analysis of any evidence that seems pertinent, I don't know, to the crime at hand. This was retrieved from an alleyway dumpster. Soup-filled drum near alleyway dumpster from an alley in the lower wards. Without strong evidence linking it to the crime, I see no reason to entertain the idea that this is some kind of 4th murder weapon. Oh, wait, your OC. Yeah, I want to see it. Show me. Show me your moves. Show me what you got. The 3rd murder weapon. What? The bat was post-mortem. The point still stands. Herm. Well, how about it, Morgie? Any link between this totally not suspicious a fire-broiled knife on her crime? Or should we just throw it a packet of garbage? Again, if it was filled drum by the garbage, of course I have more to go on in proximity, Your Honor. I have proof right here that this knife was... This knife is what Sosovsky used to cut himself free. I don't... Fuck it. I should have bet more. Arrgh! Oh, wow. You actually drew that? Wait, should I look at it? I already did. I already looked at the text. Platonic. Oh, that's adorable. I like the little outfit. Friend made these. Those are nice. I was meaning, I don't have... Man, I need to start looking at the things you guys make. Because I obviously do want to look at it. Because that is actually really good. It almost looks like a... It almost looks like something from, like, Project Eden's Garden. Almost... I mean, not that I'm trying to bring that up, but, like... Any ships are platonic. Whoa, she's got a whole ship? Agriculture moves a Minecraft move because the way people are behaving in it. Yeah. it's one of those movies where it's like people who don't go to the movies a lot are just like going for it for the meme. I actually, funny enough, I'm gonna record my Michael review tonight because I have some things to say. But I saw someone in front of me brought her entire McDonald's meal, and I'm like, bruh. Already in my OCR I made. I believe I did. Yeah, I know what a ship is. It's where you ship two people together as a relationship. Above Data's. Okay. Yeah, I did see that. That's really good, too. But, yeah. Someone brought their entire McDonald's meal. The Fennekin and her best friend. Oh, that's what I was trying to think. Like, who is that Pokemon? It's Fennekin. Is that what Shiny Fennekin is? Or is that like a special design? Anyway, but yeah, Michael, someone brought their whole McDonald's. It was kind of like funny, but thankfully no one tried to dance in front of the movie because I actually would have been annoyed. Like, what the hell? Just take another look at that. Your client's medical intake record. A little late to be drumming up some sympathy, but if but if there are shirtless photos in the file, I suppose we have a duty. There are? I did not remove my shirt for it. If I may please direct the court's attention to one specific item. What do you mean by slight? Like a paper cut? Slight laceration. More like a cutting board accident. Neither paints a very gallant picture. But he had a cut on his finger when he first was arrested, then it must have been sustained around the time of his escape, like when he is using a knife to cut himself out of a bindings while blindfolded. Yeah, that makes sense. Even a master swordsman can nick himself on his blade. Every now and then, his katana was found with a lot of blood on it, yes. But none of his own. That is correct. Yori was thoroughly tested and found to have blood residue matching Miller, Trey, and the officer Chopin. But not one drop of Sasuke's. Meanwhile, we have a knife right here, ready to be submitted into the evidence and studied under every microscope the state can find. That just so happens to have Sasuke's exact blood type on the tip. Whoa. AB, that blood type. Doesn't match anyone in this case. Full file except for Sasuke. I do blood types. Fortune telling. What? Wait, so I have a hobby. Shoot me. Okay. 2 shots right in the base of my Counselor Morgan! Perhaps you might grace us with your former requests. I call for the tape to be submitted into record as forensically analyzed as quickly and thoroughly as possible. Because I believe it is the murder weapon that actually ended Miller's life. What? Knife to the neck. Oh! I will like Sonic. I already do like him. Would be much easier to pull off than using a very tip of a sword. Nice recovery. That was an accident. In other words, then, you're asking for a medical examiner to reevaluate whether this knife might be better fit for the wound in Miller's neck. Oh, yeah. Did you just repeat what she said? Slightly paraphrased. Metal Gear Solid. Was she about to? Because people's understanding of full weight of with his knives. What the heck? Because the people understand the full weight of what this knife implies. Stay stunned. I just flashed my hand and it was 1 card away from a full house. If people have no objections, this trial requires we fully examine this new piece of evidence. Cool. So does someone have her number? Is there a group chat for everyone who works for the government, or Dr. Sato's already on her way? So there is a group chat, and I'm not in it. Yes, we just slack off until she's done, then. It occurs to me, Your Honor, that we ought to thoroughly examine why this possibly critical piece of evidence was not found during the police investigation. This investigation and preservation of this crime scene was a joint effort between the police in Sienna security. Perhaps our next witness can shine a light on the source of this deficiency. Adele behind or Han or something like that. Site manager at the Sienna Security. I served as supervisor for the scene of the crime and in case 356676767B. Whatever. Wow. Can I call you lady? Wait. Do it, lady. Nah, babe. What shall I call you though? Well, you could keep calling me babe, or you address me as the Jutin, Your Honor. Awfully cold name for such a hot. Whoa! What the fuck? Why the hell wasn't this knife found sooner? Well, I hate to throw a business. Oh, thank you for that. I really do appreciate that so much. We as security maintain the perimeters and stand watch over the secured scenes. It's the cops who do the searching and flagging. You don't have to ask them why didn't it go dumpster diving. It was a drum. Police aren't your business partner, though, are they? I don't understand your question, Your Highness. Your security is a cell corporation owned by the FIC Holdings, an offshore rebranding and effective pseudonym for Kim Acquisitions. That's a lot of big words. AKA the heart of criminal organization operating in lower wards that is commonly referred to as the Blue Blood Mafia. Hoo-ha! The East City Blue Bloods. I don't know. If you say so, sounds like above my pay grade. Permission to treat the witness as hostile. Uh-oh. Can I get popcorn first? Do you know why the state cooperates with the Blue Bloods to this degree? Why you're allowed to run your business and manage your pretty fire doms, fiefdoms? What? It's a free country and we're loyal capitalist tax-paying enterprises. You got your own explanation? It's because you're insignificant. Oh, shit! I mean, you or your organization are on trial today. That's not a favor, and it's not a show of respect. It's just reality. Say it's slow to shift its priorities. Damn! This is when that OC action met the entire world. Oh, you got a whole story behind it and everything? Well, I will definitely look at it, of course. Whoa! 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 Yo, I'm just kidding. I didn't get scared. You weren't the focus of this investigation. But if you impute on this trial's progress by dodging questions plain stupid, you'll find the state shifts its attention to your neck very fast. Got questions for me then? Why wasn't the alley searched? Oh! Because the police found the murder weapons within minutes. No one walked that bloodbath and thought, gee, I wonder if there's a knife buried under a pile of ash in the alleyway downstairs. Bruh. You witness, my turn. I'm sorry, big catch months. When did Sienna Security first arrive on the premises, ma'am? Midnight, about 2 hours after my client was arrested. You sure? Checked my messages and saw the time right on my phone when we got there. Stop with the salad fingers. You are banned from doing that. Trouble being a site supervisor, you gotta stay on site. A lot of naps in parked cars. Aw, give me those kitties. Aw. Do you know the people, you know, who owns the buildings these crimes took place in? I don't. You know who installed the security features location? It was Sienna's. It must have gotten hired by someone. There was like an officer there that should open. The security systems recognize officers of the law. Our doors use physical locks. A lot of folks in the lower wards don't. Nope. Don't pick up. Don't. I'm not coming to that door. Super. I'm not picking up that phone. Sure, but at least the time checks. Is there any way to unlock that front door within its key? I mean, you could use a spare, right, bruh? Is there any way to lock it without a key? With like a keyblade? Let it shut behind you, bruh. I'm not answering. I'm not. Did you do yours? Was the alleyway monitor and the clock? Disturbance in the scene in the alley? Nope, none. No one could plant. What the hell is that noise? Not even a blue blood. There was cops coming on, going. Why ask them if they went on? Why don't you ask them if we went around planting evidence? Oh, as expected. I gotta do it again, but this time we stay. Wait, why am I skipping all this? Oh shit, I am so sorry. I'm trying to be polite if you insist. Were the windows open to the building when you arrived? There's a lot of windows, not sure. Crime scene's on the open room directly below it. Were there windows open? Yes, the windows were open, was saying as arrived. Didn't it rain that drizzle was over before 9? Even if it had been downpour, it's not a crime getting your windows wet. Whoever could have gotten inside the building before chopping to Rogers? Bitch. Jack Black. James, what? I'm here. Wait. I'm here early? What do you mean? What do you mean that you were here early? What the hell are you talking about, Your Honor? Perhaps Counselor Morgan might narrow down her absurd attempt to grab a claim first so that people can properly eviscerate it? What she said. Someone got into the building before chopping and Roger. That's very obvious. Because what are you talking about? The only way to get in the building through the front door. I had to shoot it down. You're saying that he didn't even try turning the handle? Fuck it. Typically, have work until 9. Oh yeah, you are here early. Maybe you drove with, I don't know. Probably locked all night. Yes, it was, but in that case. Where do I even? Turkey, how convenient, but completely unfounded. Turkey was the only way to get in, but there's no other proof that Turkey even exists. Probably not. No, probably. So how about I show you the courtroom where it was hidden? I'm gonna say the dumpster. No, I meant to say the dumpster! What? Oh my fucking god, I literally meant to say the dumpster, not the... This game is so glitchy sometimes. Representing evidence found in the garbage. I'm going to ignore the comment. Besides, there wasn't a spare key in the dumpster. It must have been underneath of it. Boom. Pow. Pada pop. Bam.
Data Persona 2 player asked me.
What did he ask?
Shadow, we are setting up an intervention for Dr. Eggman. His gambling problem is too far. With his egg dealer. Huh. Dr. Eggman and his schemes getting out of hand. Not surprising. If his gambling habits spiraling out of control, it's time to take action. An intervention might just be the wake-up call he needs. Maybe remind him that his genius could be used for something other than betting it all away. It's up to us to protect the world, even from Eggman's follies. Let's make sure he doesn't get scrambled.
Yeah. Is that true? Hey, don't look at me. I have no idea what she's talking about. Dumpster has clearly been moved, indicated by lower marks behind the dirty rain and the lower wards. When she testified last time it rained was 9 p.m. on the ground. Murder. Uh-oh. Claim is that a spare key to the front door was left underneath the dumpster. Not so dissimilar from leaving a spare key under the potted plant or setting a stone on a Biwa statue. This isn't anything like that. Those examples. That dumpster is massive and wheels are long gone. Correct. If anyone had moved it, police arrived, the cops definitely would have heard it. Dude, after the rain stopped and before Chop and Rogers got there, the number was down to sometime between 9 and 10. Of course, someone would only bother to move a dumpster that heavy if they knew they'd find what they'd find underneath. Someone like you. Wait. Yeah, we're maxing this shit out. A watch 10 oh shoot. Hold up. Wait, it's gotta be chopping or because it can't be these two. Bucket. Oh, had to be Han, of course. Throw him under the bus. Counselor. What the fuck? As you know, Associated Bilbo is mafia and employed of the security company who installed the front door in the crime scene. She'd have known exactly where to find a spare key. Yeah. Dumpster also happens to be incredibly heavy, but I don't believe the witness mod documents has been submitted to the court. Uh-oh. Yeah, lift something for us. With your back, not your arms, lady. Push me? I couldn't push over a flower. Fact is, you're just bullshitting. Doesn't prove of any of what you said. We could check your fingerprints on the front door. Uh-oh. You'll find them because I've used it plenty of times. It's my job. We could check your fingerprints on the dumpster. Get nothing but partials from a bunch of unsold and addicts wherever I was stumbling around the alley. Okay, let's go. Would we? Don't know. But after you do, I might just recall how I nearly puked when I saw the crime scene. I'll have to step the alley and catch my breath. Would you believe me if I rested my hands on that dumpster then? Oh my god, she's acting suspicious as hell. Suspicious! She's making excuses. Line of questioning unproductive, Your Honor. Counselor Morgan cannot sustain her theory because the fact is there's nothing strange about Han's prints being on a centimeter of that building. Not when she spent nearly 2 full days patrolling it. True. I need something more impactful. And I know what to do, huh? Han was there that night. She was there before the police ever were. And she was there long before scientists showed up at midnight. And I can prove it right now. How? Exactly. What? I'm going to prove how she got there before the police did. Ah, shh. What the hell was that, Donate? Do you really have to do that again? What's happening? A simple whistle. Every time I press it. Wait, what's happening? And out in the corner picks up that rather nasty frequency, as any phone in a proper receiver app installed. Oh, she's getting pissed. So, should the witness be excused so she can answer her phone, Your Honor? You brought that shit onto the courtroom. Where exactly was this whistle found? At the scene of the crime, of course. Near where Creek's body lay. The police must have disregarded it as a keychain or a toy. Do you never teach them when you find a button you should press it? That's the exact opposite of what you do at a crime scene. Yesterday, Dr. Sato testified that the Creek was alive for several minutes after being shot. If he pressed his whistle even once at the crime scene, a witness phone would have started getting alerts, as I demonstrated to the courtroom just now. Anything to say for yourself? Did someone install an app on your phone as a prank? Its reception has a limited range. The lower wards is a tight-knit, high-density community. How far could you have been? 6, 7? How could you say that? 6, 7? Far. I wasn't in the area that night. Doesn't matter what range she was at, Your Honor. Did you give Klaus little arms? Defense claims that Han entered the building with some kind of spare key, letting the front door locked behind the Chop and Rogers. After they shut the lock, at which point then they run into witness. He was shot around 9:45, considering the time it would have taken Han to arrive to retrieve the spare key. Which only would have been a few steps ahead of Chop and Rogers. After coming so far with your brilliant spare key reduction, are you now going to claim that she simply ran away? Aw. Look at those hard eyes. At one point she would have had to hide. Betting all the way. Near the front door of the... Wait. One found unlocked by a line raised requires skeleton key. I think that's... the crying kitty. Since they didn't see her logically, we must conclude that she hid in one of the rooms on that floor. Boom, bow, pada pop. But it's also entirely conjecture. Not this time. Detective Roland's testimony established the impossibility. Got him. Remember that good Detective London testified earlier? James, what? What's up? Check this out. Is it Keanu Reeves? Is that Sora from Kingdom Hearts? Or is that Shadow the Hedgehog? Oh, that is Shadow. He's... Oh, shoot. Sunshine as I cleared the first floor. All the rooms were empty, but one was unlocked. How to speak brackets out loud later. The police detectives have sworn that one vault on the first floor was found unlocked. Unlocked perhaps by a spare master key. Is that some kind of big deal? Your Honor, what Morgan is proposing will put the witness behind officers Chopin and Rogers as they proceed upstairs. Not a bad place to be if you want to do some backstabbing. Oh, You gotta be shitting me. That's... Uh-oh, slam the table. That's some creative geometry you're employing, counselor. Imagining the witness as somehow getting positioned behind Tark Chopin. Oh, wait. Oh, why did I do that? Sorry. I want to charge my phone. Yeah, somehow remaining invisible to the eyes of Officer Rogers. Erg, that's right. Very novel. Her insult sounded really smart, so I'm inclined to agree. Alright, sorry guys. I really gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I said what several interests. Your Honor, some testimony I'd like the court to hear once. Once more, if you could access the scintigraphy protocol. What protocol? Oh, so it's supposed to take minutes for this meeting. I recall any testimony you want to review, don't I? If Han won't self-incriminate, then the only testimony that would be that would give me a clue as to her actions would be. Yeah, Roger. Sure. I'm so glad I got that right. Holy shit. What are you fishing for? We heard a loud slam. Chopping gets all deadly serious and it's just I stay and go ahead. That's it. The sound Rogers heard from the alley. The old one made Choppin want to form a pincer. It must have been when Han moved the dumpster in order to get the spare keys after the first officers on the scene had her destroy the lock. Oh no, that would be silly of her. Yes, she'd certainly have egg on her face. As there's someone else I know. What? That's not it? Bitch, yeah, onto the dumpster. Uh-oh. And it's a bit of a drop. Even a Dayton suspect would make a quiet racket using the dumpster lid to break their fall. Your Honor, if we have to entertain the threat of conjecture, might we at least ask for proof it ends somewhere impactful? I hear you. Morgan, take this one seriously. You're telling me that? What exactly are you accusing the witness of? Are you prepared to accuse Han of having murdered Tarkin Choppin? Okay. He's been uncooperative as lied on the witness stand, but Miss Mahan didn't kill anyone. That was anticlimactic. I mean, perjury? Who even cares? Perhaps, Your Honor, the court can get back to try to bring the witness testimony to a close. I think it might be better use of court's time if we clear the room for the remainder of this witness testimony. No objections. Okie dokie. Now let's clear the gallery and move the defendant to a holding room, bruh. They're forcing us out. What the hell? We can't let someone with a concussion fall asleep. I'm certainly not so concussed at this point. See, he's delirious. Trust me. Very well. Good luck. Place empty as fast as I thought. No gallery, no jury, no life, no bells and whistles. Just give your testimony to defense, the people moy. And something. Then when you're done, I get to watch them argue whether or not I should add it to the record. So you think I got something contentious to say? Sorry, but it's going to be more of the cold shoulder. I think you're scared. Of who? You? You? An audience. What, the pigs? You think I give a shit what any of them says, does, thinks, or whatever? Might leak what they say back to the old guard. Oh, what's an old guard? Ruling faction among the blue bloods. Use young bloods like this witness as their cannon fodder. Where'd you learn all that? You binge a late dine special? Oh yeah, miss, she just learned all of this. From a matter of fact, I did. Old guard knows where my loyalties lie. I'm no snitch. So now there's someone to snitch on. I don't help state prosecutors. I definitely don't help Curian lawyers. Oh, shit. We can sit here in silence if you like. 15 minutes of nothing and you walked out. And then you walk out. But when you do, someone's gonna make assumptions about what went on in here. Something like, I'm screwed if I do, screwed if I don't. Ain't exactly got me feeling. Maybe don't care if the Kyrian dog goes down for a crime he didn't commit. But how do you feel about the person who did put that hole in Creek's chest toasting to the news of the verdicts? Screw this. 9:47 night, minor murders. I got an alarm on my phone. Knew it was Creek's frequencies. Had nerves like ice. Strong bluffer. Wouldn't press that button unless he absolutely had to. Was the fastest that way on foot. Usually is on their lower wards. Help set up the whole damn place. Doors, keys, soundproofing. Oh, she's gonna admit to everything. Trying to be. It was like a movie in there. I thought they were gonna shoot me, and then I heard chopping, getting ready to break the lock. Knew they were gonna shoot me. Spare key on the nearest vault. Dipped inside. Prayed that they just head straight upstairs. Looking for me, they did. He followed them at a distance, but yeah, saw their boots on the stairs, their shoulders around the corners. They split on the second floor. One went upstairs. He went quiet, kept that squeak on the fourth step. Creek used to joke that was a valuable security feature. Other one was stomping around the second floor, so I was able to keep my distance. Knew exactly where that one was. The one shouted. He shouted, saying that everyone was dead. I liked Creek. His boys were alright too, but I did not want to join them in Red Hood's company. So I didn't risk sticking around a second longer. I opened that window on the second floor, jumped to the ground. Ended up smacking the dumpster instead. on the second floor shouted after me. They're in the alleyway. Heard the window slide open above me. Footsteps on the fire escape. My knees had stopped shaking, and the fog was with me. They never saw me. I disappeared into the night. Never set foot in the third floor. Bottom of the bay at the moment. Hell of a throwing arm, as you can see. Yeah, I'm not gonna go find it. Sorry. Well then. People, thank you for your testimony. You've cleared up a number of oddities surrounding this case. Though none of the answers you provided have changed the fundamental facts of the defendants accused of. Not quite. She was an all-in-out counselor. Didn't even set foot upstairs. I know. Not until she came back to secure the scene, right? What? Out with it, counselor. There's no need for theatrics around the jewelry or gallery. Wait, they're gone. I'm still here. Now I just need to explain why she started covering up the evidence when she returned. Uh-oh. She's gaslighting him. Someone did it. It definitely wasn't me. What are you talking about? It's got to be one of two. Wait, where's my mouse at? Fuck it. Why go through such effort to hide one small scrap of paper? More trash. That's exactly what it is. Trash. Garbage. It's the Super Mario Galaxy movie. All over the floor. So we got it knocked over a trash can on the second floor. Big building. Stuff happens. Oh, she's getting upset. So don't want to answer. That's okay. I will. Oh, wait. It's nonsensical, Your Honor. Counselor, you just got done explaining how Han arrived after the pod was killed and left before Chopin died. Not an accomplice to murder, just the mafia equivalent to leaking government secrets. Uh-oh. Even though the papers were almost entirely illegible, it only took 4 characters for the P492 plan to blow up in a court yesterday. Years of Blue Bloods planning all down the drain because Creek was reading something he shouldn't have when he died. But if he should have had it if he shouldn't have had it in the first place, one has to wonder where he might have gotten it. All because that one goddamn watermark. Identical to one in your business card. Sign of security. You leaked the red ink. Creek never asks nobody for nothing. Dumbass was a giver. Gave money, food, blood more than any of us. Even the weaker ones wouldn't have to get stuck. Guy like that came to a two-faced con hostess like me and asked for help. It's radioactive. Anyone caught with it, why would he ask you for it? Old guard knew Creek was charismatic, brave, smart, everything they feared in Youngblood. But they also knew Creek made them too much money for them to just be off. I don't know. They decided to wear them down instead. More jobs than any other crew, more responsibilities. Less downtime, no sleep. Keep them too tired to have the time to rebel, then wait for them to screw up, so you can make an example out of them. Or of them when they do. Managers would do the same thing when a host got too full of themselves. Started thinking they were the ones bringing in the money. They were the ones who should keep it. Just put them on the grind. Grind them into dust. Same time, grabbed the kid at the same time, and I expected them to do an arm's hand off to a big shot. At least that was the rumor. Look, point is, Greek knew they had a target on their back already. They could have dropped that red ink into the inbox in town like a tactical nuke if they had to. But maybe that's why they fired their missiles first. You think the old guard killed Creek? I don't think it was Pretty Boy Hound nursing those broken bones. Bones? Jesus Christ. Bones. I did not say that. Did he off the chopping guy, though? What was that? Oh, good luck. Thank you. I mean, I'd kill a stuck-up spoiled prick like that for no motive, so... Did you answer your question, counselor? Not the most burning one. When did the scrap paper arrive at the second floor? Wasn't there when I ran out the window? Yeah, how could you have noticed? Paper's white. I've seen it. Would you have taken it? You kidding? Yeah, of course I would have taken it. Item from the ARC scanning building would set off a number of red flags. And the first thing that would happen is I'd wind the clock back to see what it was. Knocking over trash, best I could do. Hide in numbers. If the scrap wasn't on the second floor when you left, but it was on the arcs from the start, that means Reyes body cam saw it by the second floor windowsill. The one that connected to the fire escape. Your Honor, I believe we're done with this witness, even though we've all managed to establish that boom, someone went from the third floor to the second floor without taking the stairwell. Someone circled around. You got all that from one paper? Am I stupid? That scrap was found at the window, so someone could have taken fire escape. If that... Exactly! Could have. Someone could have. But obviously they didn't because they've... would have run into Dr. Sato. Huh? Oh, she's here? She has some evidence DNA or whatever. Maybe she's an updated autopsy report if you can even care. Should we let her in, Your Honor? The one overseeing this trial, so I can cry if I wanted to. Right, wait. So I can cry if I wanted to. Open her up. And kick the flirt out, bruh. That Kyrian dog didn't kill Creek's pot. Uh-oh. No, he didn't. You gonna find out who did? Not your job, huh? Finding Creek's killer is not technically my job either, Han. But if they're brought before me, I can promise I won't hold anything back. Ooh, so empty. Hey, Sato, what up? What up? Leave the interception to God. Lots of news to break. I'll leave the interpretation of the good and the bad to you two. That's cool. Just imply I'm the ugly. That's fine. Morgan Pappas' stand. The knife matches Miller's entry wound. Well, how about it? It matches the wound better than the katana considering what we've discussed yesterday. I'd be ready to say this is definitely the murder weapon used to stab Miller. Is that cat from a Demon Hunter? Now more luck with the DNA testing than Sarah did. Unable to get any, nothing in the range of admissibility. However, like Sarah, I was able to perform blood type analysis on the blade. Well, I found A, B, and B samples on it. I found one more blood type. Uh-oh, A+. Uh-oh. 3 people cut with one knife. This can't be hygienic. As long as you don't stick it in your mouth, you should be fine, bruh. Who was there that night with AB blood? Or these findings bring a rather alarming fact to light. If Sato believes that Miller was most likely stabbed by his knife and not by the katana, that means this knife was also the source of Miller's blood on Sosuke's bindings. Rather, my client killed 4 men while cycling between a gun, a sword, a bat, and now a knife with his wrists tied together, all before ever stopping to cut his own bindings, or he was still in captivity when the Blue Bloods were killed. That almost sounds like, oh, there's a third party. Alibi for 4 of the 5 murderers. Dun 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 dun. It's this song. That is not an alibi, Your Honor. Merely an increasingly strong shadow of a doubt. Jury can decide that for themselves. The facts surrounding Tarkin, Chop, and Zed still stand. Sosuke was the only living individual in the room Chopin was killed in. Sosuke Akira is the only fingerprints on the katana, something he corroborated his very own testimony just a while ago. Defense theorized feeling suspects has already been revealed and incapable of committing any of these crimes. Yes. But unfortunately for the people's case against my client, there is evidence that completely overturns the understanding of how Chopin died. Alright, we already used that. We already used that, I think. Pretty sure. Hold on. Well, first we gotta max this out. Read that again. Wait, hold up. Not that Dr. Sato just confirmed was used on Miller. Likely kill Yillim. Yes, but definitely used to kill Chopin. Oh, what? What are you going on about? Blood typing, Chopping is the only victim with A+ blood. Even my client Sosuke had AB blood. Yet Dr. Sato just told us AB blood was found on his knife. That blood could have come from nowhere but a single fatal wound identifying on his autopsy. Chopin blood was all over that scene. The knife could have fallen into any at any point. Check. Not at any point, no. This knife was removed from the crime scene, never seen by the ARCs. That means it had been moved into the alley before Dr. Reyes arrived at the 3rd floor. But Chopin was impaled by the sword! We've all seen it! But yes, but not fatally. How could that stab wound not be fatal? I don't know why I'm talking like them. Because it was post-mortem. Yeah, post-mortem. You're basing this on the blood. Look closely, follows a stabbing, yeah. Amount of blood, Your Honor. It doesn't leave much blood at the scene because the weapons acts as a stopper. The amount of blood at the scene was a result of the sword being jolted afterwards because of the wound had been aggravated. Chopin was stabbed in the heart from behind, but it was most likely not with his knife. Collapsed on the floor, dead. Remember, of course, pelvic with a sword and wound. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I gotta get through all this. All of this a yapping. If I may, Your Honor, this may be just a possibility that's, but it's the possibility that makes the most sense to me. Explains the irregularity of the victim's sensitive blood loss, a pattern of wound, and indentation on the floor. Indentation. It might make medical sense, Doctor, but the sequence of events you describe are not those. Yeah, I'm playing it safe. You make a strong argument. In order to frame my client, they'd have to put his fingerprints on the murder weapon, the knife. They would need to stab the corpse with Sosuke Katana. They could have just put the knife in his hands. Oh. Swapping out the murder weapon and disposing of the knife is 2 to 4 times as much work. That many more chances to make mistakes. It's nonsensical. Stabbing Chopin's corpse with the katana didn't help them frame Sasuke. So what did it achieve? I nearly short all the scenes, but who says that's a coincidence? What if Chopin stabbed twice? That's just so that his blood wound covered the red ink dots. Oh, that is insane. It makes sense to me. No, your logic is... ah! The idea of yours is that Chopin was part of some kind of conspiracy to defraud the city. Agreed, that is insane. I believe just the opposite. You what? Chopin was an unpopular straight-laced political aspirant working as a cop only to improve his electability. Sounds like someone I know. Not that I know him, but personality, his family, his goals. He had every reason to blow the whistle on Prop 492. Just get it canceled, leaving the rewards underdeveloped. Lurch. People would hate to see that happen. A lot of blue bloods. Son of the 2 city councilmen wouldn't care. Carrier, like my client, would be actively rooting for it. You think Chopin was murdered just to cover up the fact that Prop 492 had been corrupted? All that money left on the table. All the future money coming down the line. That's a much better motive than... What was it you proposed exactly? That my client saw a police officer and would rather stab him than to explain why he killed his captors. Something along those lines. So Sasuke, do it or not, that will be cleared up in a very short order, Your Honor, with the help of our final witness. Uh-oh, me. $78 emeralds. 78. Thank you for collecting 78 emeralds. You get nothing, because you can't do anything with those. You got Argon. I think that's what that Pokemon's name is. No more blood in a wound on its papers. Very cold decision to make in the heat of the moment. Finally, corpse just to protect investments. Colder than stabbing someone in the back, in some ways. Thank you for joining us, Rogers. No problem. Where's everybody, though? Well, after the shooting... Uh-oh. 109 to been a Master Emerald. Oh? I don't know how to even do that. But first... I don't know. That's the only currency I can think of. Unless we do it like every 100 days, you can claim one. Uh-oh. Megman now controls the meme, sorry.
I'm afraid there's been a slight change of plan.
I'd rather not risk the integrity of Celerity trial by rescreening every member of the gallery. I've already cleared the room once. Celerity? Speed! The trial's gotta go fast, baby! Just like this, this trial, yeah, we gotta go. And it takes everyone a while for them to find plot in the stands again. We were almost caught in the line of fire not 24 hours ago, Rogers, yourself included. Surely you don't find the lack of audience to be intimidating? No, I guess not. Where do we love all with this guy anyway? I believe that lawyer over there had just accused my late partner of being on the take for the Blue Bloods. I was merely exploring a possibility raised by the witness sworn statement, Your Honor. That he never had gunshots in the area himself, and I stand by that. Defense have any questions, Your Witness, Your Honor? For the or should we all continue to glare at one another for the rest of the day? Tempting. We ask that the witness testify once more about how he and his partner arrived at the scene. Yeah, no problem. I'll just repeat my time as any time. No problem. I'll just repeat as many times as you'd like. Blow the whistle. Is all this a whistle? Oh shoot. Quit that already. Mitch, I feel many times by now, as I mentioned, that is very unpleasant tone. Sorry, Butterfingers. Hasn't anyone told you in the proper poor taste to use that trick? That it's in poor taste to use that same trick twice? It's been a lot more than twice now. It's only an issue when it's used twice on the same audience, speaking of which. Oh, you son of a bitch. That's how the cops got there so fast. Oops. Just to fill you in, officer, what I accidentally pressed just now is a whistle found at the scene of the crime. Oh boy. We're coincident my little slip up coincided with your phone vibrating. You read to us the notification you just received now? Uh-oh. Or should the court computer simply force open all your devices and splatter your data across the walls? Damn! Uh-oh. Rogers, you have a so-called receiver application installed on that device, do you not? Yeah. Is that in line with department guidelines? Use of third-party software on the state-provided devices? It's not breaking any regulations. Doesn't need to earn you any demerits to make you look guilty of sin. You and your partner that is chopping up. Have the app installed? We can go check. Oh! Having it makes you guilty, you'd have to arrest half the cops patrolling lower wards. Uh-oh. It's common knowledge that orcas use unconventional tactics to talk to one another. Oh! Flags with better clothes left on the line, smoke signals, probably even messengers, pigeons. Don't jump scare me like that. Wait, what? She's afraid of pigeons? What? They don't like pigeons, I guess. To try and listen on the chatter groups like the Blue Bloods Mafia. Bulwarks aren't a place that cops walks into without every weapon they can carry. That goes double for information. So there's nothing suspicious about his phone reacting to that horrible racket. We did that for nothing. Suspicious about having a receiver installed on any devices, even if you aren't a cop. What's incriminating is the fact that Officer Rogers' device responded to the specific frequency of the whistle. Uh-oh. Sorry, officer. Blue Birdie already told the court that you need to input a frequency in order to get their alerts for it. To that whole force, in fact. Officer Rogers testified about this anonymous tip that the police department received last night. I haven't seen the submission myself, but it came through department network straight to the inboxes. Be advised, anonymous tip suggests a potential or analog chatter at that frequency listed below. Patrol officers and lower wards use this information at your own discretion. That's absurd. What's the point of informing every cop in the city about a secret communication channel? The Blue Bloods would find it out of line. How the line is compromised within minutes. Wait, would find out their line is compromised within minutes. Well, I don't know. I don't control how anonymous tips get handled. As soon as you got an email telling you there might be criminal communications occurring at a random frequency, you tune into it right away. I'm a little concerned about criminal communications these days. I haven't seen my partner murdered by an orca right in front of me, barely 24 hours before nearly getting shot myself. Wait, oh, you saw the moment your partner's... you know what I mean. Wasn't submitted and frequency was spread throughout the police department network. Occupants of Blue Bloods believed it to be compromised, having already been used at the scene where 4 of the members died. There are many police officers in the city. It doesn't provide times of when the frequency are added. Proof of this phone first started listening frequency. Neither his partner were members of the organized crimes unit. What if it's the data pad? Wait. Thank you for remember. See. Think back, what happened? Oh well. We just found out that Chopin's partner, Rogers, this guy, him and this cop all have a frequency that goes off the same frequency that the Blue Bloods press that basically alerts everyone coming here. Actually, hold up. Let me... And, yeah, he's back in court. So we just found out that all the cops are kind of corrupt. a Core 10. How do I know that? Because of this identified scanned over a week ago. Thanks was briefly detained by the well-meaning officer on patrol. Boom. Oh boy. Yeah, so a lot's been happening. Trial's still going. It seems like we got like on estimate. Let me check. Because I have a way of knowing by what spot I'm in. We have like 4 hours left, which is insane. I thought I could finish a lot of it today. According to the following, subject possession of firearm, violent patrol, subject possession of suspect communication stolen on personal phone. He wrote all of that in the report. You and your partner found the emergency frequency of Fuku's pod over a week ago by skimming Tank's phone. Sat on it until last night, when you kindly dropped it off in a tip box. Hell are you even saying? Why would we risk a perp get good intel and keep it to ourselves? For the same reason your partner might report a generic shots heard over the police network when he already knew exactly where to look. Oh my god, Klaus is... Oh, hello, Klaus. Also, Morgan has presented enough evidence to prove that there is a third party that killed the 4 people, but not Chopin. Hello, my little mouse. Hi. Hi. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hi, my little rambunctious little mouse. My rambunctious little Klaus. Holy. What? Was I too close to the mic? Meow. 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 Something I hit in the whack-a-mole. Did you see it? Wait, what? Wait, what does? What do you mean? Alright, Klaus, I'm not gonna... If I had some treats, I'd give it to you. Q guy. Q guy? Who is that? Let me look it up. Hug guy? Cop guy? Oh, are you saying this guy? Or in the boys? You talking about Rogers? Don't bite me, mouse. Okay, the creature. The creatures. The creatures. You wanted your gold stars. Uh-oh. You wanted to be the first on the scene side of Blue Blood's massacre. Uh-oh. Bitch. Woo! Counselor is badgering your honor. Losing her, bigger threat of logic in the process. Where's my, Bum 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 bum. Previous witness testified that there was in fact a silent alarm that night. Silent alarm that needs to be actively pressed can only have gone out before the creek's heart stopped. Set witness corresponded to the alarm by traveling on foot, yet arrived well before Rogers and Chopin. The little words are maze-like. She could have been closer. That whistle has a limited range over which it can be received. Also, we've also confirmed that Han, that girl from the Blue Bloods, like, she also has a phone or a device that can be alerted whenever one of the Blue Bloods are in danger. And she was also tampering with evidence. A lot of stuff's going on. And we don't know who exactly killed Chopin yet. Which is what we're basically trying to find out. Everyone pretty much believes that Sasuke is innocent because it's like, how could his blood... how could a lot of other blood be on all the other murders and he still be tied up? Like, they've already come to that conclusion. Mouse, do not bite me! Do not bite me, Mouse! Do not bite me! Do not bite me! Do not bite me, my Klaus. Do not bite. Do not bite me. Do not bite me. My hand goes here. What are you doing? What are you doing? What is this cat doing? You proposed that those two were within that limited range between 9:45 p.m. Yes, obviously do, or else they would never ever see the frequency at all. So if Person H is on foot, individual R is in a police car, and they both receive the signal at the same time, and the train leaves Appletown at 3 p.m. All the court that's relevant. All the court needs to consider is this: how could Rogers and Chopin have possibly arrived later than someone traveling on foot if all three were within that range? Can't believe I told my geometry teacher that none of this would ever be useful. It's just logic. The fact is, they did arrive later than Han. I'm right about the motivation for Chopin's actions at night. Sitting in the police car and suddenly got notification telling some blue bloods having a life or death emergency. We live in a surveillance police state. I do have evidence, and that makes it pretty easy to surveil the officers. Cell phone, traffic cameras. I could request any of it. Hell, let's request all of it. Your Honor, I formally subpoena all of it. Get all of the data. What? Can she do that? Hell yeah, I'm sure. I'm still learning. Whatever it takes to answer the question for the court. After Officer Chopin reported that he heard shots fired at 9:45 p.m. Exactly how long did he and his partner do donuts in a parking lot before actually driving to the scene? Uh-oh. Kind of a big act from defense, but it's entirely doable. People, of course, object any data collection effort. That would be a waste of taxpayer money or violation of their privacy. Prefer that the request be narrowed down to somewhat, perhaps everything to something. Ooh, something. Happy to do that, Your Honor. You do this. If you subpoena that data, you'll what? You'll just see me driving around like a lethargic moron. Uh-oh, he put his hat on. Uh-oh. Am I dealing with that fucking crazy girl from Danganronpa 2? I recognize his type, soldier. This is largely accurate. Pardon? That's a first. Though there are some corrections, I feel I should make it at this time. No objections here. Chopin is the one who discovered the frequency when we apprehended Tan. Entered into a receiver obtained without my acknowledge. It wasn't until the night in question that he chose to inform me when intel had obtained. How he planned on acting on it. He put out a notice on the police network that he had heard gunshots. He drove to the territory, as he stated, to explain to me to believe we found I chose to take a suboptimal route. Suboptimal. One second. Bum, 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 bum. I hate that this charger just... Why? We suppose everyone is a tirade to berate me for the sense of direction. We both knew the silent alarm would lead you to some kind of blue blood emergency. Only you realize that meant you should take your time getting there. Logically, a silent alarm is triggering during a confrontation, but not afterwards. I had no desire to walk into the crossfire of an Orca gunfight without backup. You could have had backup easily. My partner had no desire to share intel or how we obtained it, bro. I tend to take full responsibility, but I was not eager to admit the role my own cowardice played in these events. Nor would I ever want to imply that Officer Chopin was responsible in any way of his own murder. So you're telling me the court, you're telling the court that you and your partner arrived at what you expected to be a bloodbath, and you still shot the lock of the door and started stomping around inside while separated from one another? Yes, exactly. We expected to find all targets neutralized. That expectation was reinforced when we arrived on the street and found the whole vicinity dead quiet. Yet, we were still the first on the scene despite stalling for time. You let him set the pace. My deepest regret that I agreed to his request to split up. Well, I got there right before you and your partner. That's what you were talking about. He can't have known that there was a blue blood in the building. On the contrary, he had already testified about encountering them yesterday, as they made a not-so-silent retreat down into the alleyway. That was a blue blood making all that racket? I see. He shouted that there was someone scrambling around down in the alleyway not long before he was killed. He must have opened a window on the 3rd floor to check. That's new detail, officer. Yeah, you did fail to mention that. It occurs to me that you weren't present in the courtroom when the other curious detail was brought to light. The fact that there was another weapon at the scene of the crime. Somehow ended up. Yep, the knife on the dumps. Know anything about that? You don't. Wrong move. But I do know scientists is a bunch of amateurs with conflicted priorities. Explain this to the court then. Has already shown that the knife murder was stabbed Miller. Getting a healthy amount of blood on it. And the parts also have been established that this knife must have been what my client used to cut his own bindings. If you say so. The evidence says so. If the defense isn't interested in asking the witness any questions, perhaps they'll answer mine. Of course, allow me to show you why. That's what I'm doing. We know for a fact that Sosuke had to use that knife to cut his own bonds. It testified that Officer Rogers apprehended Sosuke alone, so why can't the officer who apprehended the man last known to be using his knife tell us how it ended up in the alley? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I have no idea what you're talking about. When I found your client, he had the mag. He had the sword It was in the trash, brother. Drum. Down in alleys. Must have thinking it was bio waste. As a prank, I wouldn't know. The room partner's corpse never took a trip down to empty the recycling bin. Reason that someone had to walk it down out the building. Rogers never left that room all night, then someone else must have moved it. Oh my gosh. Fuck it. 0 points. Wait, 0? Again? 3D. You can't process in 3D. It doesn't matter. Officer Rogers stayed in that room all night, Your Honor. All anyone needed to dispose of the knife was step out into the fire escape and boom. Drop the knife down the barrel, waiting below. Leave the 3rd floor. No need to leave the crimes at all, Officer Rogers. What kind of trick shot bullshit are you talking about? That is a long drop, Your Honor. Straight drop. Gravity's convenient like that. It was a very small target. It was a burning drum. After much deliberation, I could come to the conclusion that the proposed method of removing the knife from the 3rd floor is not actually that hard to do. Obviously, couldn't anyone manage that? Even I could do is what Sarah's saying. And me might find it hard to relate. Then we struggle with this task. Yourself and I. Wait, hand-eye coordination. Elegantly put, Your Honor. So you must agree that someone with hand-eye coordination is so bad that they hold the record for worst marksmanship in the entire police department. Someone with such poor aim and that opted to physically assault a target, rather shoot them, than someone like that might find it impossible to pull that off. Shit. You talking about me? Talking about me, Your Honor! None of what you said is false. Dropping the knife from the fire escape didn't occur to me as a possibility. It's impossible. Possible that Officer Rogers faked his poor aim at the academy. It's easy not to hit your target. I mean, but why would he intentionally flunk out a shooting test years ago to give himself such a strange alibi here today? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. No one thinks that ahead. He got the lowest scores you could possibly get while being certified. Good lord, you'd have to be trying to... If his goal was to receive the exact minimum number of points it needed to pass, margin of error would actually have to be smaller than anyone simply doing their best. Uh-oh. You're saying it's a skill to be this bad? But what about when he first saw me? It's true that any other cop who just saw me standing over their dead partner would have just unloaded, turned up and hit me if he's not actually that bad of a shot. Why am I still alive? He's skillfully bad. Why would he just have Sasuke when he had the chance? Shot Sasuke. He could have told his fellow officers whatever the story liked afterwards. And we would have been having this. We wouldn't even be having this trial. Feared for my life, that's all he needed to say. Under what circumstances would it have been impossible for him to claim that? Your Honor, I'm reminded just now that my client and the witness were in a physical altercation. I apprehended a murder suspect. Yes, surely you weren't suggesting I use unreasonable force. Uh-oh. Unreasonably little. Not at all, but I imagine things happen fairly fast. Isn't it possible that a knife on Sasuke person that may have been knocked away to corner during that moment? Knocked away into a corner during that moment is what I meant to say. Sorry. Can't say that I would necessarily notice something clattering up at the floor while I was trying to cuff up a violent prep. Perhaps witness ought to testify about everything he recalls from the moment he confronted my client.
Put on some makeup, 'cause I want to at least look pretty before you decide to
The fuck me? Whoa. Well, how could you say that? Let's hear it. Good versus evil. Man versus machine. Cop versus robber. I'm not a machine or a robber. Don't worry, Sasuke. If need be, I don't would go through a whole trial just to prove you're a machine. What kind of joke is that? Reference to the first one. Uh-oh. What's wrong with number 10?
Let me put on some makeup, 'cause I want to at least look pretty before you decide to fuck me.
Yeah, the reason why 10 doesn't work is because it has the word fuck in it. Then I heard a sickening thump from above. My service weapon rushed up the stairs. Some defendant standing over my partner's dead body. It shocked. Cleo was injured and his sword stuck. Bam, bam, bam. That's a lot of quotes we're bringing up. So wait a sec. Boom! Sounds very brave. That's fake and impossible. How could you have knocked my client out with one strike to the forehead when it was in the back of his head that was injured? Uh-oh, you pistol whipped him. Exaggeration doesn't hold up any of the actual medical record. Sorry, 1 second. Call her back and examine my client on the stand. You'll have to remove your shirt, bruh, to get my head checked. Stop fucking around. That'll be a waste of time, Your Honor. Counselor Morgan has taken advantage of some rather vague wording in the medical record to make her argument. Largest wound, but in fact, the defendant was covered in various bruises all over his body and was taken into custody. Looting on front of his skull, which is not wrong. I still remember very ache. Entirely possible that when the officer struck the defendant on the defendant in the forehead, the blow was glancing, but still hard enough to knock the defendant backwards. Really could have sustained a large wound to the crown of his head. Crown. Respectfully, Your Honor, that's ultimately not something either the people nor the defense are experts on. Mostly healed of this morning. Hope that injection helped you sleep very well last night. But the events more or less took place with what was described. It was on the head, and then defendant fell backwards onto the floor. Bucket, stay. Probably blood and guts. Yuck. You're exactly right. All kinds of firsts happening in the courtroom today. Alright, I want to get through this whole section of the trial. Like I said, Sasuke could only have fallen forward. Uh-oh. Maybe. What of it? Maybe he did. Maybe he turned his head weird alternative to dodge. Things happen fast. Trying to bullshit a bullshitter. Fast enough that you may have, in fact, actually struck my client from behind. Maybe. Took him by surprise when he was not a threat to you. Uh-oh. Easy target to knock out. Makes sense why you wouldn't use lethal force in that scenario. Oh. What are you playing? Oh, this is, sorry, I didn't see this message. What up, Fleetway? This is, of the devil. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot about this part. That's why I didn't see this. But what up, Fleetway? Sorry about that. Yeah, it's like Ace Attorney and Danganronpa put together. And we're kind of in the middle of a trial where we're trying to prove a lot of stuff. True, I don't deny it. It's highly unlikely this could have simply hit him on the crown. Things happen as you say, and he had the element of surprise. He would have simply aimed for the easiest target possible, the one easiest to. Oh, okay. Those messages are now popping up. One easiest to reach is center for the bottom of the skull. Not quite. Excuse me? I never said that my client was standing up when this happened. You mean he was asleep? No. Bent over. Donai, what? You're interrupting me now? Because I thought you would want to know that you're about to phrase things in a way that would sound very silly. Talk about Sarah's right, Morgan. You should let her take this one. Oh, it was when Sasuke's bent over to pick up Yoro? That's when Officer Roger struck Sasuke in the head crown. Head crown? I don't know what I'm saying. I'm losing words. As I said, the one thing I do remember besides walking out there was picking up my sword, picking it up off the ground. Uh-oh. Arguing with your android, counselor? Not exactly the bravest tactic. Tactics are for refreshing your breath. Or, wait, is that what you said? Tactics or Tic Tacs? Oh, is that a joke? Oh. Positioning. If your client really had walked out that holding room and was then immediately hit from behind, where could his assailant have possibly been standing? He would have had to get out of his binding first and then push open the door. He would have been cornered with keeping quiet as he went. There would have been plenty of time for someone to hear him rumbling, rummaging around in there. Okay. If that was the case, your client would have fallen face first here. But it said he was apprehended here in the center of the room. Makes sense to me. Looks like he dropped a sack of potatoes by the door, sure. Then he was dragged to the corner of the center of the room. I'll explain streaks of blood when you can see the floor. I was hoping to learn that technique. Damn, these girls are slamming the desk. Your Honor, for the defense may not realize the weight of the application that her statements carries. As if she claimed Sosuke Kiryu was knocked unconscious by Officer Rogers the moment he walked into the room. I'm slamming the desk too! My client never had any opportunity to stab Sharpen in the back. And the only remaining individual who could possibly have killed him, would be you! Oh, shit.
Oh my God!
Yes. Any thoughts on that, officer? Expected to one's been bugging me. One I expected the prosecutor to voice, and perhaps I misjudged her. You what? None of what you're saying mistakes me any sense. You say that I hid in a corner to surprise Sasuke, and that I mean what? Wait, you say I hid in the corner to surprise Sasuke, and that I then what? Snuck up on Chopin? Also, this guy is probably guilty. This cop right here. How could I do any of that? If I was downstairs at the time Chopin was killed, at the time Sasuke killed him, I don't want to read the green text. There's no misunderstanding on my part, and I suspect none on the part of the people either. Because the truth is, when you and your partner arrived, you must have immediately... Fuck it. You're the one who took point. Who took point, not your partner. Excuse me? Chop and shut. Open the log. Sure, I believe that. He was the one... he was the one all gung-ho about coming up there anyway. Wow. 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 You went ahead and while you recovered. What? What is?
I need one.
Any weapons on you, sir?
No, but the girls say I'm the bomb.
Girls say I'm the bomb. Charge forward. You went first. You could pause. You go as slowly as you like, and Chopin would be forced to match your pace. You were the one who cleared the room and shouted down that everyone was dead. I told you. I testified. So did Blue Blood Tail testified. How your partner separated on the second floor. Objection. Mischaracterization to testimony. Supervisor shouted down to Chopin at the eminence. Both in the second floor window. Chopin was shot at someone in the alley. Officer Rogers opened the window behind Creek's body to try and spot the runner. Then he ran down to the fire escape to try to follow them, only to give up when he saw that there was no ladder to go down with. Also, Chopin yelled someone was in the alley from the third floor. Seeing that this crime scene is soundproof. No one in that room would notice a commotion in the alley unless they'd already opened the window to check it. Let's see what it's like for. This blue blood rat of yours is just misheard, or they're lying. There's no proof any of this. Yes, there is, officer. Shit. Okay. Fuck! Oh. Hey, Jay Garcia, what up? Soon, we're gonna be ending here soon because, I got a review I'm gonna make live. And obviously... actually... Wait. No, we already did that. Second floor windsill. Just any scrap paper. Imagine the writing documents that were found in the pod died. Partial blood. Proving that someone stomped from the crime scene down the fire escape and into the second floor. That doesn't prove anything. Your own client could have left that boot print. My client was arrested barefoot, remember? You should. Remember? You should. You did the arresting. Maybe Chopin, if Chopin was on the floor who brought the scrap down from the third floor, that put him behind you. Meaning... Oh, excuse me. Meaning you couldn't have walked in on him being attacked by Sasuke. Gah! Counselor. If we accept that Rogers was on the third floor when it... and then moved down to the second. The sequence you're describing ends with both officers reunited on the second floor. Neither of them dead. But obviously, Chopin did proceed to the third floor because that's where he was killed. Now that we're back where we started, one key detail. Oh, someone really did try that. My client was already unconscious. Oh. That's all I got. Meaning the only person who had a chance to kill Officer Chopin was, in fact, none of this shit matters. This lawyer's trying to accuse me of killing my partner? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why would I do something like that? Depends. What? Depends on where you live. Not uptown, I assume. What's it to you? Single bedroom? Yeah, whatever. Not great. Excuse me? And having right along all day with some insufferable spoiled rich stuck in the mud. Rich, what did I say? Knowing the whole time that your job, your whole goddamn police department, it was all just a bullet point on his resume. This is badgering. Apologies, Your Honor. I'll state the motive plainly. Proposition 492 was corrupt. Blue Bloods, and worse, would profit off of it in the city's expense. It would also bring economy relief badly needed to repair low rewards. Might also stop the canopy from, you know, just falling down and crushing everything who lives there. A climber like Chopin wouldn't care about any of that. Every photo I've seen with this guy, he had a big stern frown. Bet he was grinning to ear when he found out that red ink. Must have made you sick to your stomach. So you killed him, and then you, oh shit! And then you bled him like a pig to try and destroy all the documents that he plastered all over town. You're crazy. That's not possible. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did the police have anything to add? Oh, shit. Officer Rogers, you were the one who entered the third floor first, weren't you? Yes. How long were you in there before your partner? Were you there before your partner altered you to someone escaping? Wait, how long were you there before your partner altered you to someone escaping through the alley? Damn, that's crazy. Hold up. Sauce? Wait, what do you mean sauce? We're 2 minutes less than 3. You had a chance to start. This game is called Of the Devil, if in case you need to know that. But don't you do anything dirty. You had a chance to start looking the room over. Yes. And did you see anything particularly explosive as what the defensive has described? No, nothing of the sort. The witness is blatantly lying. We know the documents were there, and we know Chopin was found them. They were found underneath this corpse. And is the defense's theory that he was killed because of those documents? Because he would have tried to make them public, essentially. Yes. That's the defense pursues motive for this man to kill his partner. Yes, I see. Well, why would he be prepared to kill his partner for reading documents left out on a desk? Damn, they have slammed the desk multiple times today. When he had over 2 minutes to simply get rid of them beforehand. Damn good question, Your Honor. I'm getting there. I'll get there. Papers were in a plain view. Have a fire. If the papers were in plain view, he had... a carp, but no magic carp. I don't remember if they were... Where the hell did I put them, if not on the desk? I stack things neatly. Any cuckoos around the nest? Pardon me, Your Honor. I was simply overthinking, to be honest. Officer Rogers didn't dispose of the red ink when he had the chance because he didn't notice the red ink. It's that simple. Simple answer to a simple question, that's simply. Klaus, what are you doing? Klaus, my mouse, what are you doing? Who's a cute little baby? Who's a cute little baby boy? Give you the 1,000. Mate, well, next time I play that, if you want to give me red rings. Rings are 2 minutes. How did his partner discover them so quickly? Neither of them were looking. Give me 1 second, actually. Something of the scene that officer wouldn't recognize. After this, we're going... Because I got some stuff... Whoa. This is pointless. Officers knew that this was site of the orca violence from the scene alarm. I don't even know if I read that. This was the site of orca violence from the silent alarm, and there was blood and corpses all over the damn place. And if the red ink docs were not in plain sight amidst all the carnage, what could possibly have drawn Officer Chopin's attention to them? No. Oh wait, Actually, fuck it. Only half dance, and now how's this? It wasn't the iPad that drew Chopper's attention on it. It was a dark card that was stuck inside of it. Boom. The dark card. You've nice. I meant. Did you mean to say you're? But if you're rich enough, it's an unmistakable sign of powerful forces at play. All right. So sorry. I did not want this. Man, this trial is so long. All right. Okay, unfortunately, I have to cut it now because there's some stuff I need to talk about. There's really just only one thing, and I gotta get my notes ready. Wait, did Klaus just do what I think he just fucking did? It? Hold up! Klaus, get down from there! Trying to make a scene, huh? I see you. Oh, the cat. Get down here. Oh, I know. Down. Oh. Oh, who's a little mouse cat? Oh, you are. You're a little mouse cat, aren't you? Huh? Hungry? Is that why? All right. Sorry about that. All right, we're gonna save just one more time. Alright, so I'm going to make sure this review is a little bit better. Cats, I know, I had to get them off. All right. We'll get rid of this logo just so it's pretty clear about what I'm doing. All right, for those who don't know, my reviews have to be structured like this, mainly because I don't have a lot of time to do recordings anymore. So I have to do it live. Literally, we're doing it live. F it, we'll do it live. One sec. All right. So the other day I got to see Mike. Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't the other day. It was last night. You have the same birthday as Michael Jackson. Damn. I think I share the same birthday with Justin Timberlake. I'm pretty sure. But yes, the other day I saw Michael, the biopic musical movie about Michael Jackson, of course, played by Jafar Jackson, his nephew. We have Miles Teller, who played a guy who I don't really know that much. We had Coleman Domingo played Joe Jackson, his dad, which, holy shit, by the way, this guy is a villain. Like, he definitely did a good job with his role. I think he did a good job. Giuliano Valdi playing Little Michael. I believe this was Katherine Jackson. I believe that was the mom. Yeah, Mike Myers was in here. That was pretty funny. And other characters. Here's the whole cast. The security guard right here. And yeah, a lot of them. There was a lot of brothers. Obviously, so I guess I should start. I'm not like a ginormous fan of Michael Jackson. I really do like his music. Billie Jean, Bad, Thriller are probably like my favorite songs of him. Very normie take, I know. So when this movie was announced, I wasn't like all too excited. Obviously I thought, oh, you know, Michael Jackson, this ought to be fun. And then the drama came out with the critics being like, oh, it's bad. And then the fans coped by saying, oh no, it's amazing. It's a 10 out of 10 movie. Turns out they were both wrong. This movie was just fine, in my opinion. So if you haven't seen these type of movies, they're basically like biopics are like stories about a musician. Like they're up and coming, and this movie was basically that. Like if you just take the Michael Jackson just Wikipedia page, literally, well, that's the Wikipedia of the movie, but literally just take the Wikipedia of Michael Jackson, turn that to a movie, and yeah, there you go, you got yourself a film. Bohemian Rhapsody was one of the first few movies, or I believe one of the first to do it. Other movies have done it, or there have been other movies like it, like with Elvis, there was Rocket Man. I believe there was that one singer, I forgot her name. God, I don't know, but I think, and there was also Tar, but obviously my go-to best version of this movie is Better Man. This was a phenomenal movie, absolutely amazing. It's a shame that barely anyone remembers this, and Robbie Williams was actually was on board with this, and this was a really great movie. And I didn't even know much about Robbie Williams. I didn't know anything about him, and I loved this movie. Yet, with Michael, I knew a good amount about Michael Jackson, and I didn't really love this movie. I just thought it was fine. I think the big things... Let's just talk about the good. Like, obviously, Michael Jackson's music is amazing, and you're going to get that in this movie. You're going to get a lot of it. And if you like that, then you're probably really going to start liking this movie already, as it is. So the music was good. Like... There was some tidbits of information of how some songs came to be, though. I'll get to the writing later. They didn't do the most accurate job, like complete accurate, I will say. I do like the message behind this movie, trying to show Michael who he was, which a lot of people. And again, I don't want to talk about allegations because I'm assuming the second movie may talk about that, and that's when I'd rather talk about that. But a lot of people don't know that Michael Jackson was a very nice person. He went to hospitals and, like, visited children who were dying. And, like, gave them toys and everything. He wanted to invest so much of his money to these children because he felt bad for them. And this was something that he was known for doing. I don't know which of these. I'm sure all of them are real. But yes, Michael Jackson was a nice person. He also had a childlike personality. He had his own ranch. He, basically his entire home was called Neverland, where he had like a circus. Yeah, there was like a traction ride. Bro was just so fucking rich. Had animals everywhere, and like pretty amazing, pretty cool place, honestly. I would love to visit here just to look around. It was a very nice place, and he wanted a place to be welcoming to anyone, including younger people, but that's a later discussion. So yeah, Michael Jackson. They really did a good job of showing who this person is, and I thought that was pretty cool. Michael Jackson's upcoming was pretty interesting. He obviously did have a very abusive father, Joe Jackson. He was his manager. And, yeah. Man, this guy even looks like he's evil. This guy looks like a villain. Not a great person. Not a great father. He was responsible for the Jackson 5 and all that, but, man, there's a lot about him. And this movie goes over him. In fact, the movie does a good job of villainizing him and actually showing, like, you know, who this person is. So yeah, you'll get to know the story of his dad if you don't know. But as far as like things to know, there really isn't that many other neat details about this movie that they went over. Like they really could have done more. Like it, and the thing is with these biopic movies, sometimes they spend too much time like glorifying the person way too much to the point where it's like there's no struggle. It's like, oh, it's all sunshines and rainbows for this person, all completely good things, and it's like that's not how it was. And yeah, they had moments where like Michael as a kid was going through some rough times, but it almost seems like it was like tamed. Like, I don't know, they could have done more with it. So other things in the movie, the acting was pretty okay. I think half of the people here did a pretty decent job, mainly the Jackson family and actors. Miles Teller, he's like a weird actor to me. Like, I don't know what it is about his face, but like, every time he's in a movie, I just can't take it seriously. Apparently, the person he played, John Branca, was actually involved with this film, and I guess he wanted him to play him. I don't know. Mike Myers was so weird because my girlfriend Lauren was like, hey, is that Mike Myers? And I was like, huh, that is. But everyone else, I think, just did fine. No one really stood out. I think everyone's performance was just passable. Jafar probably was the best person there. I think he was good. In fact, I would almost say he did a great job acting. I don't know, like, if he spent years, mastering this character. Who really knows? But, I think he did a pretty decent job, honestly. And they got someone related to him, yeah, so that is pretty cool. And we'll see. Maybe he'll be in some other projects. I just wouldn't say he was like, he wowed me. But I do think he did a pretty great job. So did the kid who played, oh god, I spelled it wrong. The kid who played child Michael Jackson, like kid him. That's his kid form. This is his adult form. Did a good job of mimicking him, what he looked like as well. Is this good? Yeah, pretty good similar. This is a great picture, like, pretty close, honestly, though, obviously. Yeah, it's as close as you can get it, honestly. What else we want to talk about here? Yeah, so there was some writing choices that I didn't like, just some things that just kind of went on a little bit too long. Like, I know they wanted to just be like, hey, this is the scene where they show this cool, unique thing that Michael Jackson did, but sometimes it just felt forced, where it's like, all right, here's a scene where he turns on the news channel and he sees that there's gang violence, or here's a scene where he's in the middle of doing Thriller and then he talks about how he wanted to do the full leg view. They spend a little bit too much time on these scenes and it feels a little unnatural. But it's still just fine. It is just like a Wikipedia summary of like Michael Jackson. Let's see what else. Cinematography was fine. There were some nice camera shots here and there. Nothing too crazy. Nothing in the editing also really wowed me. Yeah, other than that, I mean, like I mentioned before, there was a lot of things that they could have put in this movie, and I'm only assuming they're going to do that with the second movie, because there's like rumblings here and there talking about there's going to be a Jackson movie. It's going to be called Michael, then Jackson, so it's going to be funny there. And then who knows, that will probably be the movie where like they talk about, the controversies, the allegations, and the downfall of like the shit he did, and maybe they'll try to just splice in some other cool things, because Michael Jackson did a lot of crazy things, and I feel like this movie was just, doing this. Hey, what up, Lauren? Oh, it was just surface level things that they did with this movie, and I feel like they could have done a bit more, and like they also, I feel like they could have also like introduced some songs that not everyone truly knows, but again, if it's going to be a big budget film, you might as well put the best songs in it. I would have liked there to just, show some cool facts about other songs, but whatever. And then, yeah, there's just moments that I don't like with the pacing and structure of this film. But I guess it all just really hinges on what's going to happen with the second movie. Or if there even will be. I'm assuming there will be. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. I think it was just a pretty fine movie. I think it's just okay. I'm not gonna say anything. I wouldn't say it's a. Yeah, Lauren loved it. I'm not saying this is like a 7 out of 10 movie. I can't really give it to that based on what I've said. I think its main thing is I'm not really attached to Michael Jackson, and I just don't like the structure, the pacing, and the information in it. I think it has fine acting, and everything else is just fine. Gave it an 8. I'm a big The Cat fan. No, really? You gave it an 8, and you were out feeling that emotional, and that's an 8? But no. With everything said, like, this is a fair 6. Like, if it just did some things better, it could be in the 7. But who knows? Maybe Jackson will be better. Or, fine. I mean, doesn't really matter, though, with this movie. It's already made over 200 million. What was it? Yeah, the budget. It's already made the budget. Now it just has to make 3 times that amount, or like 2.5, or essentially, or whatever. You got 39 on Metacritic. 37 on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.7 IMDb, 98 on Google, if that even means anything. Although Rotten Tomatoes, as everyone knows, I personally believe, like, don't listen to any of these scores. Well, honestly, no. Listen to them, but just don't trust them. Obviously, like I said, everyone's opinion is their own. Yes, we talked about Child Michael, Kid Michael, like a Dragon Ball form. As mentioned before, these reviews are just people's opinions. Obviously, you see this and you think, oh man, it's awful. People hated it, but it's like, no. Like, this guy liked it. This guy... Oh wow, there's a lot of bad ones. This person gave it the same score I did, essentially. This person, 7.5, essentially. So you see what I mean? It's like, yeah, there's a lot of people who don't like it, but there's still people who do. Anyway, guys, Michael Jackson's an okay movie. I think if you like Michael Jackson... Oh. If you like Michael Jackson, you're going to like this movie. It's a fun time. Someone in front of me had McDonald's, so it's a movie for everyone. No, I'm just joking. Okay. But seriously, though, it's a fine movie. I think it could have done better. I would have liked it to do better. But yeah, it's fine. Not the best biopic I've seen, but a decent one. And like I said, it doesn't matter. This is going to make a lot of money. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think of Michael. Michael, Mitch Ale. Well, yeah, that's it. Alright, that's my review. That's all I want to talk about today. It'll make you cry. Yeah. I think so. Who knows? Cried the entire movie. If you cried the entire movie, how is that not a 10 out of 10? Usually people who say crying the whole movie gives it 10. Alright, we're gonna raid... Here's what I brought. Yeah, I agree with you there. We're gonna raid someone who I've watched a few times. It looks like he's surprised he's still alive. Not alive. Why did I say that? He's still streaming. Usually he doesn't stream this long. But yeah, we're gonna raid somebody who plays a lot of Sly Cooper. And yeah, guys, we will see you guys tomorrow. Well, hopefully I finish. Hopefully I can fucking finish. What's it called? Of the Devil, but we will see. Anyway, see you tomorrow.